So here it is, after finally getting through Dragons of Deceit, is Rev Kev's spoiler-free review of the latest Dragonlance book. Hey there everybody, it's Rev Kev. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being a part of my Geek Corner community here. It really means the world to me. So today, spoiler-free review of Dragons of Deceit by Margaret Weis and Tracy Hickman. This is the latest book in the Dragonlance series, and with the new logo of Classic Dragonlance, there's some stuff going on here that I'm very curious about. So, right out of the gate, let me just give you my score. This is my personal score, and I don't have this very complex rating system here. Out of 5 stars, what do I give this book? I give it a 2.5. Right smack in the middle here. 2.5. Maybe 2.75 out of 5. Now, before you Dragonlance fans freak out and start calling me a heretic and start calling me a hater, I liked the story. I love time travel. I'm a big time travel fan. Loved Legends. Legends is my favorite book, period. Like the 3 Dragonlance Legends, my favorite books of all time, of any series. Legends. Loved it. So, liked the story. Liked the concept that's being introduced in this new Dragonlance Destinies series. Didn't enjoy the execution. And that's why I couldn't give this book more than a 2.5 out of 5. Liked the story. I liked the new characters, liked the integration with the old characters, but the execution fell flat for me. So here's the 2 reasons why I had to give it such a low score. Okay, reason number 1 was the pacing. I shared this in my initial thoughts video, which I'm going to put a link to it there up here on the top of this video. They spend the first third of the book, so over 100 pages of this book are dedicated to introducing a new character and her family. And it's no big secret, it's not a spoiler who it is, because it's mentioned here in the cover of the book. You know, it's Destina Rosethorn. They spend a third of the book just establishing her character and her family into the existing Dragonlance lore that we've had for 40 years, right? So I get why they did it, because they're trying to get us to connect with this character. But for me, this fell flat. It made the book, for me, very boring. It didn't have the pacing of a Dragonlance adventure. It didn't have a pacing of a good fantasy adventure. It just dragged on. In fact, it was getting so bad for me personally, I wasn't even sure I was going to be able to get through this. I literally had to plow through and force myself to read, because I was just not connecting with this pacing of just this long, drawn-out introduction of this character, until finally some of the new story elements started to come into play. And then even when the new story elements started coming into play, they spend the second third of the book with the same slow pacing. And just not much going on. Not a lot of character development. Not a lot of action. Nothing really new. We're going back to familiar places and some familiar scenes. But it was just really flat. So honestly, what saved the book for me was the last third. Particularly the last 5 to 6 chapters. Those were fun. They felt like we're back on Krynn. They felt like a Dragonlance adventure again. So the pacing didn't work for me. That's the first kind of negative thing about this book for me. The second thing, and this I get, this is what Rev Kev does. Rev Kev nitpicks, and I get it. The editing of this book has a lot of mistakes in it. And a little part of me would just love to go through and reread this and highlight them all in my spoiler review video that will be coming up in the next day or so here on the channel. I'll share those details, a couple of examples of what I mean by this. There were a lot of editing errors in this. Things like one character, it said, described what they were wearing and described their sword, and then the very next sentence said they were swinging their axe. What is it? Is it a sword or an axe? Or is it both? It was not clear. There were other parts of the book where characters were said to be holding one magic item and then hitting the person with the wrong magic item. There were lots of cut and paste in the descriptions of people that I think the editors should have caught. Like, for some reason, they kept describing Destina Rosethorn's outfit in nearly every chapter. It just kept coming up again and again and again and again and again, what she's wearing. Now, I get it. If she was some kind of princess changing clothes all the time, we need this description. She's wearing the same thing throughout the whole thing. Now, if this were to fit some major part of the story, I get they're trying to remind us of this. But it'd be literally in the same chapter. They would describe what she's wearing, and then a new character would see her and would comment on what she was wearing. And they were literally cut and pastes of this, like the same words repeated again and again. And this is where editors kind of see this stuff and they go, you've already said this, and they scrap this. You know, they get rid of that. So there was just a lot of editing mistakes in there. And I can speak to this as a guy who reads a lot, and as a guy who went through an editing process with his wife's book. Like, we've published as a family, and I'm in the process of writing a book as well. So we understand editing. So this isn't just nitpicking to be a grumpy, negative guy. Editing's important. It helps with the flow of a book for a lot of readers, especially readers like me. So a lot of editing mistakes. And like I said, I'll talk about more of those in there. So those are the two reasons, the two things that really just lowered the score for me. Now, some of the positives. Again, like the new character. Destina Rosethorn, I've seen some people online calling her a Mary Sue. Not a Mary Sue. I do not consider her to be a Mary Sue. Some really good development there. I think they're going to have a challenge getting us to like her as much as some of the other Dragonlance characters, because we've done the spoiled princess story before in Dragonlance, particularly with the character of Laurana. If they're trying to take, Destina as kind of this, the Lord of Castle Rosethorn, or the Lady of Castle Rosethorn, sorry, and then now she loses everything and we're supposed to feel sorry for her. Again, not spoiler, that's written on the cover jacket of the book. And we're supposed to feel sorry for her. Well, we already had the spoiled brat story done with Laurana, kind of just running off and because she loves Tanis and following him, and then becoming the Golden General and basically being the champion of the War of the Lance. So, but I liked her. I liked Destina Rosethorn. I liked the backstory. It was interesting. Didn't like the pacing of how it was introduced, but I liked the character. I liked the storyline there. Wish they would have just come up with a more creative way to tell the story. I like that. And again, I like where this is going. A part of me is terrified. A part of me is terrified that they are going to do what they did to all the Forgotten Realm books, and they're going to scrap everything and reboot everything and retcon everything and just start over, and they're going to scrap everything. The Dragonlance fan in me, who has loved these characters and have loved these books since 1984 when I first read it, terrified that that's what they're going to do. But if it's just going to be a really fun, character-driven story, time travel story, and again, don't want to spoil anything, so I'll stop there. I like where it seems to be going, but if they use it to retcon, there will be an angry video coming on my channel. Okay, because I hate the retconning of established lore and established books. But that's just me. Some people love it when that happens. So, love the characters, love the basic story where it was going, the editing and the mistakes in the book and the pacing of the book is why I can only give it a 2.5 out of 5. Those are my initial spoiler-free thoughts. Now I'd love to know your thoughts on Dragons of Deceit. Put that down in the comment section below. And as always, I so appreciate each and every one of you being a part of the channel here. Your support of the channel means the world to me. When you click that thanks button, when you become a member, and even just by watching and liking and commenting, this helps with my ads. All the proceeds of my channel over the course of the summer have been going to Compassion Canada to support young moms and babies in Guatemala. So just please be a part of that work that we're doing by being a part of the community here. So that's it. Spoiler review will be coming soon. So we'll chat more about Dragons of Deceit in the next video. So until then, God bless, and we'll talk to you soon.